Hey everyone, Howard Jacobson here from Sick to Fit, Plant Yourself, Well Start Health, Well Start Coach, North Carolina. I don't know, what else? Today I want to talk about our standards for ourselves. And we can play this neat trick on ourselves with our standards. Or rather, if you've read Sick to Fit and you've watched or listened or read me introduce the concept of the inner pig, which comes from Glenn Livingston, Never Binge Again. It's more like what our inner pigs can do with the standards that we hold for ourselves. And the paradox here is, it's good to have standards for ourselves, to aspire, to have things we're trying to accomplish, to have goals, to have levels at which we want to manifest into the world. The problem happens when we look at those standards and they suddenly start feeling not agreed upon, but imposed upon. And our inner pigs love for us to feel imposed upon, because then we get to be the victim. And when we get to be the victim, there's nothing more deliciously exhausting, demoralizing, fatiguing, energizing, enervating, de-energizing rather, enervating than feeling like the victim. Like, and the inner pig uses that feeling to drain all of our gumption, all of our pluckiness, all of our self-identification with our high standards out of us. Because once we're the victim, hey Elizabeth, once we're the victim, then nothing is rightly ours. It's everything we do is somehow taken from us and put upon someone else, whoever is victimizing us. They're the ones who are going to get the benefit. So I wanted to sing you a little song today. I didn't write this. This was written, I believe, in the 80s or 90s. That's of the previous century. Okay, Boomer, right? By Cheryl Wheeler. And so you may hear some things in there that'll clearly date the song from that era. So probably early 90s. She talks about learning to run Windows on a computer, and the correspondence that she refers to is people writing, phoning, or faxing. I don't know the last time you received a fax. I rarely get phone calls anymore, let alone letters. But the spirit of the song is very much still relevant for us today. So I'm going to sing it, and then I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And it's called I'm Unworthy. I'm unworthy. No matter what I'm doing, I should certainly be doing something else. And it's selfish to be thinking I'm unworthy, all this me, self. When I'm talking on the phone, I should be working on the lawn, which looks disgraceful from the things I haven't done. And if I'm working on the lawn, I should be concentrating on those magazines inside, since I have read not one. I should learn how to meditate and sew and bake and dance and paint and sail and make a spot show. And I should turn my attention to repairing all those 40-year-old socks there in the bureau. I should let someone teach me to run Windows and learn French that I can read and write and speak. I should get life in prison for how I treated my parents from 3rd grade until last week. And I should spend more time playing with my dog and much less money on this needless junk I buy. I should send correspondence back to everyone who's written, phoned, or faxed since junior high. And I should sit with a therapist until I understand back just how I felt back in my mom. And I should quit Smoking, drinking, eating, thinking, sleeping, watching TV, writing stupid songs. And I should be more patient when the line takes just forever, 'cause the two cashiers are talking. And I should see what it's like to get up really early, rain or shine, and spend 3 hours walking. I should know CPR and deep massage and braille and sign language and how to change my oil. And I should go where the situation's desperate and paint and build and paint and trudge and tone and toil. And I should chant in impossible positions till my legs appear to not have any bones. And I should rant at the cops and politicians and the corporations in indignant tones. I should save lots of money to leave Audubon, plus all the rocks and animals and plants. I should brave possibilities for plotting plums of problems, probably blossom plausibly for blah 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 blah. I'm unworthy. I resemble that song. Always something else to be doing. No matter what I'm doing, I should probably be doing something else. First line of that song. And that's what unworthiness feels like. That's what our inner pig wants us to feel. Just like when you're eating for reasons other than nutrition and hunger. You can never get enough of the food. You're never going to eat enough M&Ms to fulfill your need for vitamin C or self-esteem or adequacy. And we're never going to feel like we've lived up to our standards by constantly looking to those standards for the measure of our worthiness, because they're unrelated. Our worthiness is not dependent. It's not up for negotiation. But when we tie that in and we start feeling like somehow, somewhere, this contract got signed, and I guess that's my signature on the line, and it says that here is what I have to do in order to be a worthy person. And I don't really want to do some of those things, or theoretically, sure, I would like to have them done, or I would do them if I didn't have other things to do, or if I wasn't so damn tired. Then that whole contract begins to feel like servitude rather than service. And when our lives begin to feel like they do not belong to us, that's when our inner pig leaps into the void and says, you know, if you're not going to do this, if you're not going to meditate and sew and bake and dance and paint and sail and make gazpacho and repair all the 40-year-old socks there in the bureau and learn how to run your computer and learn foreign languages, and if you're not going to do that, then what's the point of any of it? Let's just kick up our feet and relax and eat some junk and watch some mindless TV and go to bed late. Stay up. Let's just treat ourselves. All right. All right. As if doing that is a treat, as if it somehow can heal, as if it somehow can counterbalance all of these responsibilities and standards that we have woken up to. There was a time in my life when I sort of woke up to the fact that I had been sleepwalking for decades, that I had sleptwalked? I don't think so. Sleepwalked through a whole bunch of career choices, through an addiction to approval. And here I was living a life, doing a career, making a living. And it's like I woke up, and the way I felt it in my bones was that I was barreling down a highway, just woken up or just come to consciousness, my hands on the wheel of an 18-wheeler going really fast down a slippery hill in the rain, in a mountain range with lots of switchbacks. And I was carrying a cargo of overripe bananas, tons and tons of overripe bananas. And I was not a truck driver, and I did not enjoy driving, and I didn't really know how to navigate these turns, but there was no way that I could take my hands off the wheel and stop. I couldn't brake. All I could do with my life was just sort of manage it so that everything didn't come apart at the seams. And it took me quite a while to feel like the truck had slowed. Like maybe I'd found one of those runaway truck ramps, or had just rolled into town and found a parking lot where I could take a breath and evaluate my responsibilities. Now, certainly I had a responsibility to earn a living, to keep my family clothed and fed and sheltered. But even that was not externally imposed. Even that was a choice. How do I know it was a choice? Because all over the world, there are people who don't accept that responsibility, who run off and abandon their families, or people who decide that they are not going to pursue a career, even if it means penury. And I'm not talking here about systemic issues of race and class and ableism. I'm talking about human beings making choices. And we can all agree as a society that here is the right thing to do, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. Laws and courts and jails and prisons exist because you have a choice. Right? You don't have a choice to obey the laws of gravity, but you do have a choice to obey the laws of the country. And you do have a choice to obey which standards you hold yourself to. And any standard that you hold yourself to other than by choice begins to create servitude. And it begins to call on this echo of the inner pig to get you to binge, to skip your workouts, to lower your standards in every other area of life, as if this was a seesaw, and by so doing, you could then magically raise up the other standards. But of course, we know this not to be true. If you say, okay, I've taken on these tasks, and I accept them, and I volunteer for them, then you want to be of sound mind and body. Then you want to be sharp. Then you want to be well nourished. So there's no zero-sum game here between accomplishing the things you put upon yourself to achieve worthiness and letting go, letting your hair down, binging as a compensation, as a compensatory mechanism. Got to run in a minute. I hope this was cogent and useful for some of you. I'm certainly talking to myself as much as anybody else. I encourage you to let go of the whole concept of worthiness, to notice where it lives in your body, to notice how it drives thought and action, and more precisely, how it drives inaction. And feel like that worthiness there's no such thing as worthiness in your body. Your body is itself. It's breathing. It's engaged in homeostatic blood glucose monitoring. It's repairing. It's filtering. It's excreting. Your body is just being itself It is not concerned with external standards or conditions. And that's all you are. All the rest of it is illusion. Hope this helps. Take it easy, have fun. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anything you want me to talk about. If you never want to hear me sing again, I want to hear all of the feedback. So if you're interested, this is the last couple of days to sign up for WellStart Coach Training. And that's wellstartcoach.com. And the last couple of days, I made this announcement in my email, but I'll say it here. If you would like to get coaching from me, private coaching, at this moment until Monday, if you sign up at plantyourself.com/laser, LASER, I'm throwing in 12 weeks of the WellStart Health Program. That's an almost $500 value. Throwing that in, that's good for anyone who has a U.S. or Canadian phone number, cell phone number, because we need that in order to employ the text areas, the text parts of that program. So if you want to do a year's worth of laser coaching with me, I throw in the WellStart Health Intensive Program, and just go to plantyourself.com/laser. If you sign up for that, I'll be in touch and we'll get you all set up. But WellStart starts on Monday, so don't dawdle. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Take care.